From the grind, got that hustle in my vein, never fall, stay true. Put my heart in the game, from the bottom to the top. Yeah, we breaking the mold, gave it all heart and soul, now we taking control.
Welcome back to another episode of Heart and Soul. And then today, or tonight, I got a special guest. But before we jump into it, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and like the playlist, because Heart and Soul is a place where we bring entrepreneurs, artists, small business owners, people that just trying to make an impact in society in itself and just want to tell their story, you know, maybe get a as far as products or any service they offer, they come on here and talk about that. But along with that, also tell the struggle, the heart and soul it took to get where you are, all the obstacles and things that you overcame. So with that being said, I'm with someone that has definitely done that. She is a very special person to me. I've known her for over 10 years now, probably over 15. And yeah, she's blessing the couch, blessing the episode with her presence today. And I'm just happy to see her here right now. But check this out. This is somebody that you may have seen her face before and like, who is this woman? Or you may have heard her name but never could put a face and name together because the media just don't know what she looks like. You know what I mean? They never knew what she looked. I think they was making that. It was you probably had AI creating images of her before it was even AI. You know, that's how crazy it was. Like you'll see all types of different faces with her name on it, but it's not her. When in reference to who the father of her son is, you know. So I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna let her introduce herself because a lot of people need to know who she is. And without holding you guys up, here she is. Who are you?
I am. Hello. Thank you for having me, Tony, the Heart and Soul. But yes, you guys, I am Tenesha Nicole Dykes. I am the mother of Young Jeezy's son, Jadarius.
8 months pregnant, a project baby. Mama say daddy, he wanted abortion. I was born same day a young nigga died. Mama said the hospital had to transport me. Came from the bottom where I found the glory. 7 8 young came out 5 pounds. Back to the jets to begin my story. Came from the mud, I walked through the rain.
So thank you again for having me, Tony. It's glad to take the couch. So yeah, thank you for your presence.
Oh
yeah,
definitely.
And yeah, like you said, 15 years is it's definitely 15 years.
15 years, and it's crazy because you know when you meet people, you don't know how long they're gonna be in your life.
Exactly.
Know what I mean? And
exactly.
So somewhere along they figure out a way to stay there, and that's a good thing because it's a mutual thing. But this goes back to like Macon.
It does back home.
You know what I mean?
Back
and,
home.
I was gone for a while and I came back and I went there probably not even a year, and this is where I met her one night at a concert. I got a call that Young Jeezy's son was performing, and I had no idea he had a son, so I was just curious to see, you know, I want to hear what his son sound like because I'm definitely into music and artistry or whatnot. So I go there. I think who was performing with him?
Juvenile.
Yeah,
Juvenile.
So
we opened up that night for Juvenile.
they opened up for Juvenile. I showed up. I caught like the last bit of his performance.
Yes.
And matter of fact, I don't think they was even saying Young G. They said Young Jeezy's son.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I found out what his stage name was, and it was Lil Jeezy.
Exactly. At
And
that
I was
time.
like, okay, that's crazy.
Man, they Young Boss, we own one. Y'all might know me and Lil Jeezy, but we ain't gonna say too much about that. So we Young Boss, so we own one. Everybody wanna know who we is. Come right here in the match, how we doing it. Shout out to everybody who out here, knowing something big for us.
What you got going on? What you got?
Right now,
Mixtape dropping or what?
We got the Flies Paradise mixtape dropping with Coolie Music Group. We're working on a whole bunch of things right now. Man, we got a tour in LA sometime in a couple weeks, so that's big too. So we got a whole bunch of things going on right now.
It's fun to have time have grown, but
Right.
exactly, it was Lil Jeezy at that time.
Lil Jeezy. So I go outside and I'm like filming because I'm doing like my videography thing, and he stepped in front of the camera and just took the camera. You know, he just took over the camera, and I don't even think I may have asked one question. I don't even think I asked a question. And he just took over and told me everything he had going on, and I bought right into it. You know what I'm saying? And it reminded me of who his dad, as far as his entrepreneur spirit at that age, his mannerisms and how he was like really, I can hear the ambition in his voice at that young age. And so I've been locked in ever since. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's not. So that's our backstory.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Well,
our
due to
backstory.
say, it was great. Like
Yeah.
I said, since he was 14 years old, I must
14.
say it was nice meeting Tony. And like you said, at that time, I was managing a group called FYS.
FY,
The
yep.
name of their group was called Fly Young Society.
Yep, yep.
It was a group of 4 members. It was
Right.
my son Jadarius, which y'all know is Redman.
Yep.
It was Marcos, it was Najee, and it was Curtis. R.I.P. Baby Curtis, but yeah, one member have kind of passed on over the time. But yeah, at that time when we met you, I was managing a group and doing artist development with the group.
Right.
At the time when we met you
I remember that,
at 32.
They were dope. They
Yeah,
were dope too. That
we
was
opened
dope.
up for
That-
Juvenile.
Like, they really was. They was like the new rich kids. If you ask
Exactly.
me.
As a matter of fact, we was networking with rich kids. Jadarius was doing some work with rich kids.
They
Yes.
was, yeah, I remember that. And yeah, so okay, so we don't want to. You know what?
Yeah.
That kind of jumped a little bit. That jumped 14 years.
It did.
We
It
got
did.
to bring it all
To
the way back.
concur,
We got to bring it all the way back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So,
That's true. It was nice meeting.
everybody knows, you know, Jeezy's story. You know, he's from Macon, but you know, then they dig. Oh, he's from Hawkinsville.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and even then, I don't think that's really the city. I don't know for sure, but I think it's I don't know. I think you may
I'll
know.
dig into it.
Yeah. So, and you know, it's just like, you know, we just connected. You know,
We did. And over time, like, I just appreciate you for the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thank you for the respect, you know what I'm saying, that you gave me and Jadarius over the years. Like from day one when me and Jadarius met you,
Right.
you put the camera in front of Jadarius' face and he just had a burst of energy.
Right.
And at that time, like, Jadarius did over 500,000 views by himself.
But before
Like-
we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So so what I was basically getting at
Okay, I'm
is,
sorry.
I kind of got off track a little bit. I'm thinking,
because we
so
just
far ahead.
reminiscing on going back, to that first time.
I was talking about Jeezy being where he from or whatever.
Okay.
And, you know, we been in Macon or whatever the
sorry.
case may be. But so she is from.
I'm originally from Pineview, Georgia, Wilcox County. Jeezy's actually from Hawkinsville.
So
So
he
we're
is from
not
Hawkinsville.
actually from the same town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
We're
said
actually,
Pineview.
I'm from a little small town called Pineview,
Hold on,
Wilcox County.
It's smaller than Hawkinsville?
Exactly. Smaller than Hawkinsville.
That's
We
crazy.
have one caution light.
Yeah.
Hawkinsville have a couple more caution lights. But
Right.
we have one caution light in Pineview.
Oh, wow.
But it is.
So Hawkinsville, all right. So you was born and raised in. You were born and raised in Pineview, and from there, you know, tell me about, you know, your.
Well, actually, I was kind of born and raised. I was born in Perry.
Oh,
To
you
be
born in
honest with you, I was
Perry.
born
Okay.
in Houston County.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Houston County. I was raised in Pineview.
Pineview.
My mother and father is a native of Pineview in Tibbettville, Georgia. My
Gotcha.
mother is Cynthia Dykes. She's from Pineview, Georgia. My father's Arthur James Dykes. He's from Tibbettville, Georgia.
Okay.
Which some people might know Vienna, Georgia, a little bit back
Yeah,
home.
Vienna, yeah.
Just a little bit of native about me and where I'm
Right.
from. So we country setting, good people, love. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Love your neighbor, love each other.
So what?
You know.
Well, you kind of going into my next question, which is basically, what was it like, you know, growing up in a small, especially now, you know, you're older and you kind of experience a lot.
Exactly.
So like, what is it like
Exactly.
growing up in a town that only has one red light? You know.
For me, it was marvelous.
Yeah.
You knew your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? You knew if you went up the street and you did something that auntie or uncle was gonna challenge you, and when you got home, you know what I'm saying, mom was gonna get you back on the back end.
Right.
So, you know, growing up in a small town was perfect. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You knew your neighbor, you knew your friends, you know what I'm saying? Your parents knew each other, your grandmothers knew each other. So for me, it was a lot of love. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we got a lot of love being
Right.
from a small town.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Tight knit community, people, everybody know each other.
Exactly.
So when you growing up in Pineview and you just being, I'm guessing, a young girl, you know, just trying to learn things.
Navigate her way.
Right. So
yes.
So I guess fast forward a little bit, as a teenager now, what is it like? What you doing?
As a teenager, good question. As a teenager, a lot of people don't know. And this is the question I've always been hesitant to answer, but it's a good question. I was a teenage mom.
Okay.
Like a lot of people don't know that, but I was a teenage mom.
Oh.
Actually, I got pregnant with my daughter when I was 14 and I had her when I was 15.
Okay.
And I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
At that time, I thought maybe it was the baddest thing that ever happened to me. But when I tell you it was the biggest and brightest, I love her to this day. Like the best thing that could have happened to me.
Right.
So like, yeah, I was a teenage mom at that time being in Pineview. Just fast forward.
Well, hold on. So,
Yeah.
so you said you was 14. You were 14, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What high school you went to?
We went to Wilcox County High School.
Oh, Wilcox, man.
Wilcox County High School.
Wilcox County, man, they got a hell of a
Yes,
football
right
team.
now we are number one.
They
yes.
don't play. They don't
we
play
are.
out there.
We are.
So one thing she say, that's why the community tight knit, because they raising these
Yes,
dope
we are.
athletes.
They
you know, for
do.
real.
They said cornbread fed. Those
Yeah.
guys are definitely fed well.
Right,
yes,
right.
good,
Right,
big, strong players.
So while you was you was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
you 14, you must you met somebody you like, obviously you had. And you
I
ended
did.
up
At
having a
that
child.
time, I met my daughter's father. At that time, I was kind of dating young and not really understanding life, to be honest with you.
What's your family say about that?
My mama didn't approve of it.
Yeah.
To be actually honest with you, no, my mom didn't approve of it. But at the same time, I was that young girl and my eyes just seeing what I thought I saw. You know what I'm saying? And not saying it was the best for me at that time. But like I said, my daughter was a blessing. I did get pregnant at 14. I had my daughter when I was 15.
But so was it like, because I know this kind of branches off into like where you are now. So it's like,
It does.
like how was it, you know what I mean, as a single mom at that age trying to raise a baby while you're in high school? Like, and
No, that's
how
a
did you
good
do
question.
it?
That's an excellent question. Because for me, being a teen mom, I would say I had support.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Because without support, I wouldn't have made it. A lot of my peers were also pregnant. I wasn't the only one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my peers I think at the same time was pregnant. So it was almost like it was okay, but it wasn't okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, to me, I feel like that happens a lot in like small towns. Because there ain't a whole lot to do, and kids gonna eventually, they're gonna figure it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
So I'm sure like you had a lot of family support. Or what?
Definitely.
Yeah.
My mom, her father, his mom, my aunts, my uncles, like my sisters, everybody played a big part when I had my daughter at 15. Yeah.
Right. So that's what's up. I mean, family is everything, at the end of the day. So being able at that young, having support like that is definitely dope. So you okay? So you had your first child. What's her name?
Her name is Dee.
Well, I know her name, but they don't know her
Okay,
name.
well, yeah, you guys. Her name is
right there. They right
okay,
there.
yeah, you guys. Her name is Jimmy Deandra Grace. Yes, she's my firstborn. She's my mini-me. She's my everything. And yes, I thank God for her. So yes, her name is Deandra. She go by Deandra Grace. So yes, that's my daughter's name.
All right. So let me just change it. All right. So okay, so now you in high school, you raising a child.
I am. I'm going to school still. I'm still in school. My mama didn't believe in quitting school.
Right.
She was like, okay, you had this baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see about this baby. And you
lot.
gonna still get up and go to school.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? This don't mean this the end of it. You know what I'm saying? This don't mean you stop him.
Right.
It mean continue to go.
Right.
I got you. But what can you do now?
Right.
So yeah, I had support. Like my mama, I take hands down. My mom is the world.
Right.
Like without my mom, I wouldn't even be sitting here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, she's the world. She's my everything. Right. And she was a great support with me being a single mom at 15. She was hypocritical about my daughter's father, but she didn't judge me. Right. When her grandbaby came into this world, that was her first grandbaby. Right. So at the same time, it was like it was almost her baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like my baby, but her baby. Yeah. So I still had a chance to live my life, you know what I'm saying, enjoy, you know what I'm saying, still have that teenage childhood. Right. She didn't let me not have that because I was a mom at that age.
Right. So, all right. So you like in high school now? Like I said, you raising a child.
I am.
You what now? You about 16?
I'm about 16.
Okay.
You guys, yes.
So I know you. I kind of, for me, you never really told me when you met Jeezy or whatever.
Correct.
As far as like exactly what. Well, I kind of maybe I know the age. I don't know, but maybe not the age. But so you met him at what age?
Actually, I met Jay when I was kind of 16-ish.
His name is Jay, for those that don't
Yes,
know.
you guys. Yes, because you all get me twisted with this Jeezy, but yes, I know him as Jay. For me, it was Jay. It wasn't Jeezy, it was Jay. I fell in love with Jay.
So you met him at 16?
I did. I met Jay at 16.
At?
I met Jay, actually, you guys, in Pineview. We was actually in Pineview in front of my aunt's house. And that's where I met Jay. And it was kind of funny because it was kind of me and a group of girls. It was me and my cousins and a couple friends. We were standing in front of my aunt's house. And it's strange because I know everybody wouldn't expect for me to have met Jay like this. Right. But he was coming from down the street, him and Goldmouth, as a matter of fact. I think Goldmouth was dating a girl that lived to the right of my aunt. And yeah, Goldmouth was dating a lady that lived, a young lady at that time that lived to the right of my aunt. And him and Jay was coming back through. And like I said, it was just a group of us girls. We was in front of my aunt's house and we was just kind of standing. We was dressed being little cute girls, country girls, you know, don't take it. Country girls at that time. And we was just kind of in the road in front of my aunt's house. And Jay and Goldmouth ride through. And what made him stop, I have the slightest idea, but the windows was down. They didn't have no air conditioning on. They had the windows down, and Jay was driving, and he was kind of leaning out the window, and we rode through, and they stopped. Y'all, not one word of lie. I don't know how I ended up with Jay number. It was at least 5 of us out there. It wasn't just me now. It was at least 5 of us out there. I don't know how I ended up with his beeper number, because at that time, you guys, we didn't have cell phones. Like, well, at least my mom didn't have a house phone. My aunt had a house phone, but like my mom didn't.
Oh, they didn't have a...
Yeah, no, we didn't have a house phone at that time when I met Jay when I was 16. Yeah. My aunt, we had a house phone. We didn't have cell phones. Yeah. You had a house phone. And you was lucky if you had a house phone. Right. Like I said, my mom.
Oh, yeah, you saying like in general there was like no cell phone.
I'm from the country, keep in mind. I'm in the rural Pineview. Right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely no cell phone. Right. You got a cell phone, you doing it. Beeper was out then. Right. The pagers, beepers. Right. So kind of at that time, like I said, Jay and DeWan had come through. We were kind of just standing outside, and Jay stopped the car. Like I said, and I don't know how I ended up at Jay's window, but for some reason, like I was at the window. Yeah.
Some reason I magically appeared right at the window.
It's funny, but when he came through, like they stopped, and you know, like I said, it's a group of girls, and for some reason I stopped. But anyway, long story short, we connected. He gave me his pager number, and I took his beeper number. And you know, back then it was kind of like a little code. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when you get somebody your pager number, so you'll know who it is. You kind of put in a little key code, so I know who it is. Hey, I remember so you can call me back. Yeah. So dang, that's it was like that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. So you ended up with his number. So exactly. So like, did you like call him like right then? Like what you did?
No, actually not right then. It was kind of funny because my aunt had a phone, and my cousin was like, "Come on, let's use the number," and I was like, because ain't nobody gonna get this number. Like I just took this and just wait. You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, no, I didn't give him a call. My mom at that time.
So why, you didn't give him a call because you thought somebody gonna do what? Like
no, I actually thought my cousins or maybe their friends would take and retrace the number, because back then with a house phone, like you can mash redial. Exactly. Yeah, you can do redial. So I was like,
You know, I think I probably thought about like that before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't dial certain numbers at people's house because they can hit
Exactly. They can hit redial. Yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely a factor back then. So yeah, I took that.
You went home and
I went home with that number that night. Man, that was sacred.
So, yeah. I didn't have, you know what? I didn't have no beeper until like, maybe I had a beeper in senior year of high school.
Okay, senior year of high school. Maybe. No, we were young. Like,
so you was like beeping them and
calling. Like Jay was like 16, 17 with a beeper.
House phone, how was you calling them?
Actually, like my mom lived in Hawkinsville. So like when I would go to my mom's house in Hawkinsville, it was like this little place in Hawkinsville called Planters. Planters that like come south. And they had like a little telephone. Like I think that was the main station for Hawkinsville back then, communication line. But it was a couple phone booths kind of like out front. It was about 3 or 4 phone booths. And it's funny, y'all, back then, because you could kind of just go get on the phone booth and hit the pager. He hit you and it chirped right back. You know what I'm saying? He called right back. So like the payphone had a telephone number and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? In front of the payphone. So, you know, I would kind of go visit my mom and, you know what I'm saying, I would kind of just walk uptown to the store and the payphones were right there. So, you know, I hit Jay up. I tried it and it worked. You know what I'm saying? It worked. Hey. But so it worked.
So y'all best, you'll go to the payphone.
Exactly. I would walk to the payphone. Actually walk to the payphone, you guys. No car, no ride, by my lonesome self. I would walk. But it wasn't that far of a walk either. It was like maybe 10 minutes from my mama's house to the payphone. Like, yeah, it wasn't that
so
far
y'all
apart.
so was y'all ever like, so y'all was start talking, I'm assuming, and then
At this point, yeah. At 16, yeah. At 16-ish, I got Jay number. Me and Jay talked and we dated.
Yeah.
Like 17-ish was like fabulous. Like I was still in school. Like Jay lived in Hawkinville. I was still living with my parents at the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was still a teenage mom at that time. I still had a daughter, keep in mind.
So hold on. So but y'all were dating pretty much for a few years.
Exactly, for a few years. Exactly, because I still haven't had my son yet at this time. At this time, all I had was my daughter.
What was he doing? Like, what was he doing?
Like,
you ain't gotta tell me when, like in the beginning, but like,
No.
did you like was he pursuing music when you was
Like when I met Jay, yes, he was definitely
doing
into
music.
pursuing
Okay.
music. I'm not gonna tell that lie. Like Jay always have been into music.
Yeah.
When I kind of met Jay, our relationship was he was quiet. Like Jay humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Jay, he reserved. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay ain't outspoken. Like he ain't gonna step on your toes. Like when we were dating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep in mind we was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like my first movie date with Jay. I remember my first time he took me to his granny house.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to his mom's house.
So-
like,
I don't want to cut y'all because I don't want to, because we'll jump too far.
That's cool.
Because like you telling. So let's go back. So
Okay.
All right, y'all dating
exactly.
and
At the
some
time
kinda-
when we're
some kinda-
dating, it's kind of like, at this time, it's kind of like we're dating and I'm in school. So we would see each other kind of like on the weekend.
Was y'all boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, I would count to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 16. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay knew about my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay knew me, and like I wasn't dating anybody else. I had kind of moved to Hawkinville at the time. I was living with my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I could beat Jay, call Jay, and he would pull up, call. Like none of that was never a problem.
Yeah.
And we would go out on weekends and have dates. It was a little club in Hawkinville called, it's something that the Purple Petals was in Rochelle. Josh, New Direction was in Hawkinsville. The club was called New Direction. And like that was the place to go on the weekend. So for 16, 17, you know what I'm saying? You go to the club, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, I was never a club person. I was more of a parking lot pimp. Not
you
pimp, but
you outside waiting on
I'm just gonna sit in my car
Yeah, you
and
out-
watch everybody.
Oh,
Because I really wasn't from Hawkinsville,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like it
Hawkinville
was,
like y'all,
yeah,
like the closest, biggest city. in the
exactly,
area.
exactly. For me, being from Pineview,
Right.
like Hawkinville was like the place to go. Like Hawkinville had all the nice stores back then. You had your little Allied stores. You had your BC Moores. Like you had. Back then, Hawkinville had a nice little strip.
Yeah.
Like Hawkinville was the place to go. Like New Direction was like the nice little club place to go on the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
So like y'all. So all right. So y'all are dating at least, and y'all
At this point.
and he treating you like girlfriend.
Exactly. At this
So that what
point,
you felt.
we're getting together every week. My goal was go to school Monday through Friday,
come over to
and
your
we
house?
get together. As a matter of fact, I was living with my sister, and before I moved in with my sister,
The
we were
sister
kind of
always the one getting your sister in trouble.
yeah, my big sister.
Yeah, that what it,
Kudos to my big sister Geneva, her and her
Bring
fiance.
them over here, girl. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it
Always be the
wasn't.
sister,
No,
man.
it wasn't so much like that.
Yeah.
I think it
No,
was
I mean, as
just
far as
no.
like you
It was love. No,
no,
it was.
no. I'm just saying more like just you,
Allowing
I'm big
it
sis,
to you can have
come
company.
over. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
welcome,
yeah.
and not only that, her fiance and Jay were good friends. You know what I'm saying? They had ties,
Gotcha.
and her fiance and Jay respected each other, and I think he respected Jay at a young age. Believe it or not, older people always had respect for Jay.
Yeah.
Because my brother-in-law was way older than Jay, and we were like 17 at the time.
Yeah,
And
hold on,
my
we gonna get there.
brother-in-law
We
was
gonna
way
get there.
older, but at that time it was like, hey, Nisha, you welcome. Jay
Yeah.
welcome to come over here.
Right.
So like at the first time when me and Jay kind of met, we would go get a little hotel on the weekend and sit in the hotel. But at some point in time, I ended up moving in with my sister to finish my senior year in school.
Okay.
And when I moved in with my sister, it was kind of like, well, you know, Jay welcome to come over. You know, you
Right.
dating Jay, he welcome to come over to the house. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And he was always kind of like a businessman. Like Jay, like did his thing. Like Jay wasn't even no club person. Like you gonna catch Jay at the club. You catch Jay maybe working
Right.
around the club. Jay ain't in the club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But after he get through working, he checking in and he coming up to the project.
Yeah.
My sister living in the projects,
Yeah.
and he came to the projects.
So all right, so y'all obviously y'all doing
Yeah.
y'all thing. So you ended up getting pregnant, I'm assuming.
Of course.
So like when that happened, I'm
course.
sure I guess like for one, how you find, like, how did you know?
That's a good question. It's kind of funny that you say that. And just to reel it all in, at this particular point in time, me and Jay had done a lot of dating, a lot of just good enjoying each other, friendship, company. You know what I'm saying? By this time, I had met Jay mom. Jay had maybe took me to his mom's house. At this time, it was just me and my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have Jay's son when I met Jay's mother. Right. And at this point in time, when I met his mom, it was all love. And it was kind of like, you know, you guys can't sleep together, but you're welcome. Right. You know, but Jay, you know, you on the chair, she go in the bedroom. And just to push it fast forward, I ended up getting pregnant when I was 18. I remember it being my senior year in school. I was turning 18 that year, that summer. Me and Jay went to Applebee's. As a matter of fact, we went on our first movie date. We went to go see Wesley Snipes' Money Train. Okay. Money Train back then came out. And as a matter of fact, we double dated. We double dated with Goldmouth and the lady that lived down the street from my aunt to the right. Mm-hmm. So we all double dated. And like I said, me and Jay relationship all before that was good. So he was like, Tenesha, let's get ready. Let's go to the movie tonight. And I'm a little country girl, y'all, to be honest with you. I was like telling my sister, y'all, my first time finna go to the movies. Yeah. Like, you know, what should I wear? Get my hair together. Like, me and my sister, we was in there like, girl, you know, back then, like, get you a little part, you know what I'm saying? Pull your ponytail with a little ball on it. Well, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, for the little girls, like, we got my stuff together. Yeah. So anyway, we went out to Money Train. We went to the movies first. And we went to Applebee's first. We went out to eat first. We went to Applebee's because back then it was Applebee's. You know, that was kind of high scale. Just being honest, being 17, 18, you know, Applebee's, that was nice. So after we sat down to dinner, and we were getting ready to eat, the four of us. And for some reason, my food just could not digest well. I was like, I feel funny. I went to the bathroom and I was like, Lord, don't tell me I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of came back out and I mentioned to Jay, I was like, I think I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I don't know, but I'm feeling sick. I couldn't eat my food. I was nauseated. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he really thought a big thing of it at that time when I said it. Right. So we just kind of went on, you know what I'm saying? And at this time, 8 months passed. You know what I'm saying? I'm pregnant with Jadarius.
So you were 8 months pregnant when you found?
No. 8 months had kind of went on along.
Oh, after that.
Okay. I don't know what you want to ask in between then. Because after 8 months, he was like, that's when he realized he was finna turn into Jeezy.
You think so?
No, I know so.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So
yes,
okay,
I want to go back and catch your question.
So he found out because you skipped.
He
found out, and I don't want to go too deep because there's so much other things we're gonna do with this story.
Okay.
But he found out, and some time went by. But during that 8 month block, if you saying at the 8th month, hold on. If you saying at the 8th month, you feel like he knew he was turning into Jeezy. What was let's say month 4, like was you around with him creating music, or did you see him making music, or did you hear him, like he like let you listen? You know how it'd be like, let me
go back to that. Okay, cause see, that's when it would play in a part, like when we were dating before I got Jadarius. That was like all that played into part. Like I would see Jay when we were dating, like we would go to his granny house. Like at his granny house, like Jay had a big turntable, and when I tell you big, it was as long as, it was as long as that. I kind of felt the love of Jay with music when I went to Jay. Like Jay stayed with his granny, his grandma Matlow, Miss Matlow, you know what I'm saying, Miss Maddie. And when I first went with Jay to his grandma's house, that's when I knew Jay had the love for music. Yeah. Like Jay's bedroom was almost the size of this room. You know what I'm saying? Like it had a TV the size of the wall. I'm just being honest. And we were like 17 at this time. Yeah. He maybe was 18, I was 17. You know what I'm saying? A turntable as long as the wall, headphones, a whole equipment system, a king size bed. I'm just being honest. Yeah. Like his bedroom was like heaven. Like I didn't want to leave. Yeah. And it was funny that you say music, because I remember when we were in the room, we got back from the Waffle House. We kind of went out that night and we got some Waffle House and came back to the house. And he brought me to his granny house first time. I went in his bedroom and Jay had a whole turntable, DJ set, headphones, everything. So when we got back that night, I'm thinking maybe we finna just, get in the bed, chill, watch a movie, Netflix and chill. Headphones, turntable, music. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. I was almost like, Jay, stop. Let's get into bed. Like, no, like, and it's kind of funny because to see his interest in it then, you know what I'm saying, to reflect back on it, you know what I'm saying, to see his passion for music then, and it was like artists like Big Daddy Kane, like Tupac, you know what I'm saying, was inspirations, you know what I'm saying, was encouraging for him. And just to see his love and his drive for music, I'm telling you, a whole turntable as long as this wall. You know what I'm saying? The records, everything. Jay had this at 16, 17 in his bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And it was still room for the bed. To be honest with you, so yeah, he always, to me, when I first met him.
You definitely, did you ever go to like, did you go to the studio or go in the shows?
Definitely have been to the studios. Definitely had a studio in Gray. Had a nice little studio in Gray. I kind of went up and visit in the studio in Gray. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing. But yeah, he made music in Gray. He also did shows. Like back then, Jay was like on his hustle. You know what I'm saying? Jay was on his grind. You know what I'm saying? Jay was doing shows. I remember this little small town called Rochelle, Georgia. The club was called Purple Palace, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And I remember all of Hawkinville. Like Jay with us was still like Lil Jay. We knew him as Jay. It wasn't even no Jeezy at this time. He was just Jay. But Jay could bring a crowd. You know what I'm saying? His music, back then it was almost like, I think the one with 2 bananas, or hit you upside the head with a Corona ball or hell of that, or something like that. He had like a 2-verse CD back in the day. It was 2 CDs that came back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got the double CDs, you was, I think my daughter got them. I wish she was here. But anyway,
I know which one that is.
He had
I think was that Come Shot With Me?
Come Shot With Me, yes, Come Shot With Me, love. Come Shot With Me was double CDs. Yeah. But anyway, we wasn't even really there then. You know what I'm saying? We were just, you know what I'm saying? He was on his grind, just doing little local shows around, you know what I'm saying, the middle Georgia area.
All right, so he doing music, and then boom, you know, you at the 8th month now, and you about to have this baby. Or things again.
At this point in time, Jay was kind of still humble. We were doing the music. It was all good. At the time, I was pregnant when he was doing his shows in Purple Palace. You know what I'm saying? And it was love. You know what I'm saying? It was humble. You know what I'm saying? Jay was the type of person that, I remember Barago, if I'm not mistaken, it was a group of us that came down to see Jay perform that night in Rochelle. And somebody had an altercation. I don't know if the guy from Hawkinville bumped into somebody's vehicle or whatever the altercation was, but Jay was the type of person, like, if you came to support me, then we gonna show love, you know what I'm saying? And he came out that night and just disputed the argument, like, let me pay cash, you know what I'm saying? My people did this, here you go. And we left and went back to Hawkinville, you know what I'm saying? It was love. He was that type of guy. He was humble, he was reserved, it was love back then. But to get back on to when I was pregnant with Jadarius, get back to 8 months.
Yeah, so 8 months, so what happened to where, I know it's like some type of moment or something, or you say at 8 month.
Okay, get back to me telling Jay I was pregnant at Applebee's, me being pregnant, still being a senior, going to school, being pregnant. Like I said, Jay's music hadn't took off, but Jay was known for being the little artist, you know what I'm saying? He was known for Lil Jay back then, you know what I'm saying? And to me, not really thinking that Jay music was just gonna really take off, because we from a small town, keep in mind. When you say Pineview and Hawkinville, you don't expect to get nobody back from middle Georgia to just, you know what I'm saying?
So when all right, the music was about to take off, we know he was already kind of transitioning to
exactly.
So you about to have this baby.
Exactly.
What's going on? Did he want you to have it? Like, what was going on?
At this point, you guys, to be honest with you, when I first told Jay I was pregnant, it was kind of like all good. I think Jay, this in my mind, to be honest with you, I think Jay knew somewhere he maybe did get a big break. And honestly, he came to me and he was honestly saying, like, I don't know if I'm truly ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, my music is maybe gonna take off and I maybe not have the time. He didn't even say he didn't have the time. It was more like, well, my music might take off. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. And at this time, you guys, I was 8 months pregnant. Keep in mind, from Applebee's, when me telling Jay I was pregnant, from me being a senior in high school, being pregnant with his baby, and Jay coming to tell me 8 months later, I'm 8 months in, that he might not be possibly ready to be a father.
Hold on. But I thought, did I hear something? I thought I read something where he may have paid to like for you to like not have.
What?
Like a
Abortion?
Yeah.
Like he paid for me to have an abortion?
Like, yeah,
like he
I
was.
think I read something.
He
But
was.
I never asked you.
Okay, where he was willing to pay. Honestly, God, like you guys, like no hands down. I was already a teen mom. I ain't gonna even shade it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jay had a good relationship from 16 to 18. You know what I'm saying? After I got pregnant with Jadarius, it's kind of like our relationship kind of dissipated. Like Jay started, you know, working on his career. At the time, I didn't realize that I was already a teen mom.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more of raising the daughter that I already had, and now I'm stuck with another baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And back then, you gotta realize, being a black girl coming out the projects.
No, I get it, but that's why I'm asking, like, so he must have, so did he mention that?
That's what I couldn't understand, Tony. That's what was a little absurd to me. Because if I could tell you at Applebee's that I'm pregnant, and if you really wanted an abortion, I felt like that would have been the perfect timing. Because I had just found out. You see what I'm saying? But you waited till I was almost 8 months.
You can't have an abortion at 8 months, though.
But I was willing to. I was willing to.
Okay. I didn't know you could do that.
It's sad to say.
Yeah.
But I was willing to.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you, my God is good.
I mean, obviously you didn't, but
I didn't.
Did he give you?
Jake was willing to pay for the abortion.
Did he pay for it?
If I can be honestly with you guys, like, to be honest with you guys, like me and Jay talked about it, and he was like, his career was, you know, finna get ready to take off, and at that point, I wasn't trying to even put a burden on Jay. Cause like I enjoyed the friendship and the relationship that we had that I thought was something. And when I got pregnant with Jadarius, it was like things to me with Jay just kind of turned. And I was okay with that. Cause honestly, Tony, I went for the abortion.
Yeah.
Me and my older sister Geneva, I went for the abortion in Atlanta, Georgia. And to Tony, to see women rattling around saying, don't have an abortion, I can't have kids. I'm a young girl from a small town, one red light, 2 kids now. He don't want the baby, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If he don't want it, then why should I?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went, cause this is what, he wasn't complying. I didn't want to put no burden on nobody. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the time, but when the baby came about, I guess he wasn't ready. We came to Atlanta. Me and my sister, she brought me to Atlanta. I went in the room. My name was called, Tenesha Dykes. Come to the back. Examine me. Miss Dykes, you 8 months pregnant. At this point, Miss Dykes, if we do this, it's the point you could lose your life. It's the point you could die, Miss Dykes. You too far along, Miss Dykes. So what we would prefer for you to do, Miss Dykes, if you don't want the baby, is give it up for adoption. Because if we perform this on you today, it's a chance you might not even wake up.
Yeah.
Honest to God, my right hand for God. So what they told me, I came back to them same projects. Ask God if he can give me strength, my baby not be a burden. I'm gonna do this. Give me strength to get through this. And Tony, he did. Like I ain't gonna, 8 months pregnant, went to have an abortion, couldn't comply with it, was about to die if I went through with it. Yeah. My life on the line now. So what do? Do I give him the benefit of the fact of having an abortion and lose my life? I didn't never tell him that it was a chance that they told me I could lose my life. I never told Jay that. So I came on back home to them same projects, and I asked my God, you know what I'm saying, to stand with me, Tony. I ain't want to burden Jay or nothing. I had Jadarius, 9 months. Jay came to the hospital. At first he came with him and his cousin Paul. The second time he came with him and his dad. His dad told me hands down, to the man he is today, whatever you need, this my grandson, we got you. Don't hesitate to call me. And from this day forward, Tony, his grandfather has been the father figure to me, from my opinion, in Jadarius' life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't take nothing from Jay. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew he was pursuing his career. He was in a different direction. He wasn't ready. But at 8 months, what could I do?
Right.
When my life is on the line. You know what I'm saying? What do I do as a young teenage mom?
So after you had him.
I had the baby.
He was there when you had him?
He wasn't actually there when I had the baby, but he came up to the hospital to see the baby. The next.
I know a lot of people are sometimes, I know it's touching all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Because I see his perspective and I see your perspective, and it's like, you know, two young people trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
One person, you know, obviously going through something where you feel like, you know, this ain't, like I had a child, so I don't, at this age, it's not normal. That's not a normal thing for me to
exactly
have.
To have.
Yeah, so and then on his side, he like, well, I don't know if I want to be with this person for sure all the way, or I don't know. I'm my career's about to take off possibly, and it's just gonna be too much for me. You know what I'm saying? I can see that too. So I understand that, and how that can be, you know, very, very hard for like two young people that's 18 years old.
Exactly. At that time,
so 18 years old. Like, so I mean, I think sometimes we forget the human being. You know what I'm saying? Like people are humans. People gonna make mistakes and do things that don't make sense at times because people are human.
Totally.
But
totally,
certain people we put on pedestals, our family, our cousins, our parents.
True.
We put them up, but they are just normal people, so they make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So,
of course.
But we put them on a pedestal, and they can't make mistakes.
True.
But that's not
the human.
Fair.
Exactly.
Fair, you know
Exactly.
We all make mistakes.
Exactly.
Some worse than others.
Correct.
But we all make mistakes. So I always give people a benefit of the doubt.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Before I make any kind of
judgment. Of course.
Because I never knew, you know, the real situation. To be honest with you, I thought that this me keeping it 100. I thought y'all was together long. I thought y'all was like in maybe 20 some years old together, like,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
16, 18, his career took off.
Yeah.
Like Jay, to come from Middle Georgia and for Jay to get the break that he got at a young age, by 21, Jay was already probably working with Bun B.
Well, the reason why I say that, I thought that y'all, because just assuming that, you know, y'all y'all had a kid, so y'all were together.
Got
and
you.
it just didn't work out.
Exactly.
But it really was like y'all were dating.
Exactly.
At a young age.
Exactly.
Y'all had a kid.
Exactly.
And nobody knew what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
To keep it correct.
So
it's not to bash either party.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Not to bash either party.
It's all love,
I definitely respect it.
Sure.
Exactly.
It's all love. Like, so him being not knowing what he wants. It's so many men in America that have been through that same situation. They feel like, damn, like, what I'm gonna do now? Because men are ambitious. Women are ambitious too. Women fuels a man ambition though. You know what I'm saying? But men that are ambitious, then got an ambitious woman, totally different story. But men are ambitious to the point where, you know, we when we see something, we trying to get there, and we don't wanna get sidetracked at times. And, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of men find themselves in situations where, you know, you want to have females.
I respect that. Because
sometimes things happen.
It does.
You don't really necessarily want it to
It does. Life happens.
You get word.
Life happens. Life be life, and we get caught up sometimes.
It probably happened.
It does. And to be young and not expect. I don't actually think neither one of us. Jadarius was unexpected. Like, we didn't sit down and just plan to say, let's have a baby, or I want to get pregnant. But we was having a lot of good sex now. So now how you kind of figure something was gonna come up, and wasn't using no condom.
Yeah.
Like, it was just good love making.
Yeah.
Like, Jadarius look exactly like him now.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I was in there making
I'm
biscuits.
talking about it was up top sopping the syrup with it. All the gravy.
Yeah, that was okay, so you know, he wasn't trying to. He wouldn't even know what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You knew that you didn't want to do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so he's born.
Exactly.
He eventually shows up to check it out.
He does. Jay does come to the hospital.
Yeah. So all right. boom, y'all now are like you raising Jadarius, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know now that he's Young Jeezy.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
at this time he's still not Young Jeezy when I had Jadarius.
Okay.
Nope. He's still
He
just
was
Lil
trending
J.
that way.
He was trending to be Young Jeezy.
A lot of people don't know. Like me personally,
No, he
I think
wasn't Young
Jeezy's
Jeezy when I had.
biggest influence is like Trick Daddy. Cause like his early music, man, that man rap just like Trick, man. Like
yes.
I hope he watches this, cause I like, bro, I know you Trick had to be an influence in the beginning.
Of course, like who didn't love Trick Daddy?
Because his true self was so original. You know,
I agree. No, we're not gonna leave Trick Daddy out. Like that piece of chocolate, no sir.
I believe,
like Trick Daddy with the braids back in the day. Stop playing. Yes, the music.
Plus making and Your Way is all like, even though making is not tropical, but it's making is like an extension in some sense to like that area, Middle Georgia. It's close enough to Florida. You know what I'm saying? I agree. So it's like, I agree. The influence is gonna be there, especially like Atlanta trying to find its vibes and its sound. And then you got Florida already kind of established different sound, with its sound. So I can agree. See, him getting an influence from Trick Daddy. But yeah, so all right, so y'all are now you got Jadarius. So who you named him? Jadarius? No.
Dude, we should really get in. I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
I want to get into that. Because actually, you can cut this right if you want to, right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
because actually his name was actually named
I don't know.
Jimmy Lee Dykes. That was his actual name. I named him after my daughter. I named him after my daughter. My daughter's name is Jimmy. I named my son Jimmy Lee Dykes.
Okay.
Because that's my grandfather's name.
Okay.
Well, no, my grandmother. My grandmother's name. Her name is Jimmy. Jimmy Lee Dykes. Okay. So I named my son after my daddy's mother.
Jadarius after Jimmy.
Exactly, at that time.
Does he got a middle name or something?
Who?
Jadarius.
He does not. Jadarius not coin. But this was kind of like, at this point in time, you got to realize.
So
I had Jadarius. And it was kind of like, Jay came to the hospital. He seen Jadarius, you know what I'm saying? He knew he had a baby. But I don't know if it really, really sunk in for Jay.
That's why, so so I want to know, like, okay.
Because like, you don't know, because honestly, the baby had 2 names.
Okay. So
I'll tell you that later.
She gonna come on Heart and Soul and not give us her heart and soul. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's funny.
But
you gotta show this.
No,
the baby had 2 names. Come on, man. No, at first, honest to God, no, like lies, hand downs, no, like all honestly. Like when Jadarius was first born, I kind of named Jadarius after my grandmother. It was named, his name was Jimmy Lee Dykes. Okay. And that's my daughter's name. Okay. And her father name, she's named after her father. Okay. So I don't know if that kind of took offense, but after I brought my baby home, I was kind of like, that don't sound right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta come up with another name. So my oldest sister, once again, was like, she African. We gotta come up with Jadarius, not corn. My sister, she ain't African, but she got one African names.
Okay.
All her kids, her husband Nigerian.
Oh, okay.
She good with names. So anyway, she was like, we ain't gonna go with that. So my sister came up with Jadarius, not corn, Jenkins is his name. Okay. So I had to do a little name changing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For JC birth certificate.
Yeah.
I had to go to Atlanta. Right. Change those paperwork, just to be honest with you, hands down. Because his name was Jimmy Lee Dykes. You know what I'm saying? Named after my grandmother. Gotcha. Jimmy Lee Dykes. Okay. And
hey, listen. I don't know why she feel like she got that over explained. Like, this is America. Like, we are living in times where what you think won't happen will happen. Our families, man, have, when people pass away, you find out the most weirdest things. So it's okay that you didn't know for sure, or you didn't know how you want it. That's his
name to go. I really didn't. Because he was my firstborn son. And then me and his dad really wasn't. Yeah. And I wanted my grandmother's legacy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. But my sister was like, girl, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is too close to all of this baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to change this. Yeah. So we went from that to Jadarius Nacorn Jenkins. Gotcha. Well, it was Dykes at the time, but then when Jay got him legitimized and all that good stuff, it went from that to Jenkins. Gotcha. Jadarius Nacorn Jenkins. And Jay was okay with that name. Yeah. I think I kind of elaborated with him. You know what I'm saying? What we like for Jadarius' name wanted to be. And he thought Jadarius was cool. I think Jay wanted his middle name to be Raekwon, if I'm not mistaken, instead of Nacorn. So he was like, let's do Jadarius Raekwon. And I was like, okay, cool. But it was kind of too late. He was already Jadarius Naquan Jenkins.
All right, so okay, cool. So Jadarius born, you raising him.
Yes.
Jeezy, Jay.
Yeah, at this time he's still Jay to me.
Jay is now trending towards Jeezy.
Exactly.
Boom. So okay.
Exactly.
So obviously, maybe his assistant was helping with certain things with raising Jadarius.
I can't.
I don't know.
I can't. That's hard to say, love, because I'm gonna say this. Like, I remember me asking Jay to keep Jadarius one time. Like, before Jadarius was even a year old. Like, I was going out to the mall, me and my sisters, and I was like, Jay, would you mind babysitting? And he agreed to babysit. I think at this point in time, he was cool. Jadarius could have been no more than about maybe 6, 7 months. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He agreed to babysit. Bring the baby bag over, the diapers, the milk, the formula, everything for the baby. At this time, Jay was living with his granny, which is Miss Maddie Lou. At this time, Jay also had his aunt there and his cousin Paul that stayed there. Yeah. At this time, Jay and Paul both had babies almost at the same time. So, particular day, I take Jadarius over, you know what I'm saying? Bring Jadarius over. Everybody's in the kitchen. His grandmama, when you kind of walk in the living room, she had a big kitchen that kind of sat to the right. Kitchen table. And everybody was kind of sitting around the kitchen table, family in the living room. And I bring Jadarius in, car seat, baby bag, whatever. Drop him off. Jay agreed to watch me while I went to the mall that day. So from 6 to 7 months, I don't know what transpired that day when Jay watched Jadarius, but I think it was kind of some mixed talk. You know, when people get your baby for the first time, and the whole family get to see it, and everybody get to examine your baby.
You talking about mixed talk as far as what?
Say it again.
You said it was kind of mixed talk. Like
mixed talk. When I mention mixed talk, is like,
what, like
you my brother. And she dropped the baby off. So, you know, of course, we're going to examine the baby. I want to make sure. So I'm assuming that's what they maybe did. That was their first time kind of seeing Jadarius, me dropping Jadarius off. You know what I'm saying? Him really spending time with Jadarius. And I think it was oversaid that maybe Jadarius wasn't his at the time. And I think that kind of, to me, I don't know if it drove a wedge, but I think it kind of just irritated something in the back of Jay's head. You know what I'm saying? That maybe it wasn't his baby. You know what I'm saying? And gotta realize now this 6, 7 months. Yeah. Had the son, goes over to his grandmama's house, watch the baby there. I come back, I get my baby. Just word on the street, hear that Jadarius might not be Jay's. You know what I'm saying? But Paul, baby Paul's, but Jay might not be Jay's. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. You gotta realize, like, I didn't pressure Jay. Like at this point in time, after I had Jadarius, Jay babysitted, Jay was still Lil Jay, trying to become Jeezy. He was still pursuing his music career. So I wasn't the type of baby mama that was like forcing you to be a father. Like I didn't force you to say, get the baby. Like I wasn't gonna drop my baby off on your doorstep or to your granny house. Cause we didn't have our own house at that time. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We were still kind of living with our parents. He was with his granny and I was with my mom. So I wasn't the type of baby mama that dropped my daughter, my son off to his front door. Like that just wasn't my MO. Like I wasn't pressing Jay to be a father when Jadarius was first born. The first 6, 7 months, like I said, Jay watched Jadarius. And honest to God, to be honest with you, that was probably about the only time. Yeah. If I can just be real. Because I think it was so much disconnect with what maybe was said at his family table. And that can maybe get into your ear. Because I'm already a teen mom. I already got a baby father. So ain't no telling what they put in his ear to brainwash him. Yeah. But you know me and you done made music, love. You know what I'm saying? Jadarius look just like you. So long story short, push it forward. The first 3 years maybe, I can't say Jay was there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 3 years, like my daddy's daughter and my mom played a significant impact with me and my kids.
Your who?
I don't want to call names because I'm not going to call his name because I won't get him
to
die.
You said your daddy's daughter?
My daughter's daddy.
Oh, okay.
My daughter's daddy and my mother played a big significant role the first 3 years.
Exactly. Okay, I see what you're saying. I got it.
So with that being said, by this time I had transitioned. I'm a single mom with 2 kids. I had moved to the projects in Hawkinsville. By this time, Jadarius was turning 3, 4, getting ready to go to Head Start. And at this time, I ain't getting no support from Jay. I ain't getting nothing from Jay. Me and my daughter's father is not getting along. Let me just try to do what I can do as a single mom.
And your what? They ain't
Me and my daughter's father, which is my daughter's father. I'm not gonna mention his name.
He ain't getting along with who?
We're not getting along.
Oh, okay.
Because at this time, it wasn't no Jay. It was me and my daughter's father.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And then
So we wasn't getting along. Yeah. So at this time, my mom come and get me, and I go to the projects. I get an apartment. I got a 3-bedroom at the time for my daughter, my son, and me. Mm. And at this time, like I said, keep in mind, Jay still wasn't giving me no support, no help. Yet? He still wasn't Jeezy. Yeah. He was still coming along being Jay. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, he was about to get ready to turn into Jay. At this time, maybe about 4 or 5, he had got to deal with Puff Daddy. That's when it was Boys in the Hood. Yeah. So we came maybe about 4 and did the blood test. You know what I'm saying, with Jadarius. And Jadarius came out to be 99.9 his. At this time, I was only receiving $179 child support. Hands down. Still didn't pressure Jay. Okay, thank you. He yours, you know he yours. That's what mattered to me. Yeah. So, long story short, and back and forth from there, I'm in the projects now. Jadarius is now 3-4 years old. He's getting ready to graduate Head Start. At this point, Jay does start to come around and want to be a father in Jadarius' life. You know what I'm saying? He want to be in his son's life, want to know who his son is. So he do starts to come and get him, you know, small. Right. We'll go to McDonald's. Because at the time, Jadarius was still kind of crying. Right. Like when Jay would come get him, he would like kind of cry. Because he was kind of used to my daughter's father at that time. And I was like, well, Jadarius, like this is your dad. Like you got 2 dads, and some kids aren't lucky to have 2 dads. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, this is your dad, and I need you to kind of go with your dad. He's not gonna do anything but love you. You guys are going to McDonald's, because for a kid back then, McDonald's was like, you know, they had their happy place. Yeah. So Jay came over, and as a matter of fact, I think it was him and Mel, if I'm not mistaken, Mailman. And they came over and they kind of went up to McDonald's, just been, you know, just small steps, baby steps, you know what I'm saying, coming back into this world. Because he's a little kid at this time, a toddler. So just small steps. So I'll never forget when Jay came over to my apartment in Mooney's, and the first day he came to get Jadarius, spent a little time with Jadarius and took him to McDonald's. And I told him, you know, you can go to your dad, you can go. And they went and enjoyed. And the first day he came back, you know, it was nice. It was small, but it was nice. Right. And from then on, it was always, Jay was still moving into being Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't recognize that. I didn't recognize that at the time. For me, it was on mom duty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I still didn't pressure Jay about nothing, love. I still didn't force nothing on Jay. You know what I'm saying? I continued to just do what a single mom at that time doing, was loving on my kids and doing the best I knew to keep us, you know what I'm saying, knowing just how to survive. Right. You know what I'm saying? So getting $170 child support from Jay. Child support from my daughter's father as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna leave him out because he was on child support as well at this time. Because at this time, neither one of them are with me. Jake gone on and his career is going. Now he is jumping from being Boys in the Hood. Now he is turning into being Jeezy. So we went from being 4 to 2005. Now, what I'm about to say is before I went back for child support. So all that time, I only got $179. But at the same time, keep in mind, I don't know, did you care that we lived in the projects? Because you knew you had a son. From day one, you came to the hospital. So did you care if we was eating noodles or beanie weenies? Did you care if we was drinking at the time, food line drinks? Did you really care? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause to me, you didn't show me that you did. I don't feel it. I didn't see it. The first 3 years, I didn't see it. I'm still getting $170 child support. I'm working now as a CNA at the nursing home, 3 to 11, because I couldn't get on first shift. My daughter going to school, and I'm working second shift. Doing the best I can as a single mom, living in the projects. So.
Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. I'm confused on the timeline. So, how old is Jadarius at this point? When as far as like him.
So let's elaborate back to what 97 to 2005. You kind of want to elaborate on Jadarius' age from 97 to 2005. Because I think by the time his dad made it, Jadarius was at least about 8 years old.
Hold on.
At 2005. But
So
that
means,
went from.
Because I know you. So that means you've already had
prior kids prior to Jay making it in 2005. I had 2 other sons by the time it was 2005. Yeah.
Stay true, put my heart in the game from the bottom to the top. Yeah, we breaking the mold, gave it all heart and soul. Now we taking control.